Okay. Um, Good morning, one and all. I'm Vinod Biar, faculty. Good morning, one and all. I'm Vinod Biar, faculty, civil engineering, BMS Institute of Technology and Management, Bangalore. It is an honor and privilege for us to be a eminent personality, okay, Sachin V, with us for a technical talk. Thank you, Sachin, for joining with us.
Thanks, sir. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay. Now I request Varsha, third semester student, to introduce the speaker of today's session.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Please, Ma.
Yes, sir. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I'm Varsha from third semester, Civil Department, BMSIT&M. On behalf of the faculty and students, I feel extremely honored to introduce our today's guest, Mr. Sachin Govind V. Shetty. I wholeheartedly welcome you for today's session, sir. I also extend
Thank
my
you.
warm welcome to our professor, Mr. Vinod Biar, sir. Sachin Govind, sir, is an asset manager working for Embassy Group, Bangalore. Sir expertises in reviewing key market indicators to determine appropriate strategies for pricing, repairing, and negotiating offers. Sir is also proficient in BIM and project management software. Sir has finished his graduation in civil engineering from BMS Institute of Technology and Management, Bangalore. Sir has published about 12 conference papers in various national conferences and published a paper in ICI Journal, Bangalore chapter. Sir was a delegate at IIT Madras for an international conference during 8th August 2016 on 3D printing of concrete. Sir was also the placement coordinator from 2015 to 2017. Sir has completed his MBA in Construction Project Management in RICS, School of Built Environment, Amity University, Noida with 8.16 CGPA. Sir had been appointed as content editor of Construction Times published by RICS. Sir has managed to enter into more asset management contracts with the potential investors and achieve 20% more investors into the portfolio within 1 year. Sir has handled more than 15 handover and takeover processes, thereby smooth transition of clients to the office spaces, maintaining both investors and occupants' interests. Sir has provided maximum support to the occupant and tenants during COVID trying times. Sir has been awarded University Excellence Honours in Knowledge Creation and as Best Presenter for his paper on Smart City Development. Sir was also awarded by Autodesk for a project on application of BIM for effective construction safety management in high-rise buildings. It's such a privilege for us to have him in today's session. I feel honored to welcome all my dear friends for taking part in this important program. I'm sure that you will feel enriched with knowledge after completion of this session. I welcome you all once again to this session and hope that you all will have a great time ahead. Thank you all.
Thanks, Varsha. That was really an elaborate introduction of me. I think that's the lengthiest one ever somebody has introduced me. Thank you so much.
Now I request your kind self to deliver the talk, Sachin.
Sure, sir. Sure, definitely. So I think we have about 28 students. Sure. So let me start. I'm sure you guys would have heard of dampness in buildings and have seen several such cases in your nearby projects you would have visited, or maybe at your own houses or so. So starting with contents in this presentation, I'm going to have effects, causes, and remedies for such dampness in buildings. Could be residential or commercial buildings. Also, I have put some case studies wherein at my capacity where I'm managing as a manager here in Embassy Group, I had to analyze and assess such dampness in buildings while I approve budget for such projects. So I need to have in-depth knowledge about it before I give an approval for crores of budget in such projects. Then I have put up a new NDT method, which is used for identification of dampness. So what is dampness? Which is an unwanted moisture which is present in the structure. It could be due to the result of seepage into the building through capillary action from into the substructure, or also it could be something which is on the superstructure due to the leakages in sunken or any leakages through the plumbing lines. So it all depends on especially the climatic factors in terms of the external dampness, and then also the rainfall concentration or the catchment area which the project is located in. So I have put a picture here so that you guys could just analyze how the dampness could appear in buildings. It could be due to the rain, it could be due to the bad workmanship which is done, and then which is exposed to the harsh climatic weather, and the improper slope given on the roofs, like the flat roofs without any sloping, and then also on the topographic nature of the building where it is located, especially the water table. If it's too high, so you will see a lot of seepage in the substructure or the basement of the buildings. I'll show you more pictures in upcoming slides there. So I think you guys would have seen that these kind of dampnesses are there in several buildings. If the DPC is not given, the damp proof course is not given sufficiently at the plinth level. So what are the effects of dampness in buildings? It causes rotting of wood, especially in timber structures, and then it causes corrosion of metallic fixtures, which could be also the corrosion of reinforcement in case of rising dampness, and then it deteriorates the electric installations, which can also cause electrocution, and also it can lead to occupational hazard, especially in office spaces. This is a big challenge which we face. And then deteriorate the carpets and furnitures. Yeah, I will show you pictures how it can affect office spaces in terms of dampness, and then causes spots on the floors and walls, and then it damages the carpets, and petting off and removal of plaster, blistering of paints, and also it causes efflorescence. During the construction stage also you could see efflorescence very easily in case uh, of such dampness causes, and then dangerous for health of the occupants, life of the structure. Structural health monitoring is something which interests me a lot. So then it also promotes growth of termites. So dampness at ceiling levels. As you can see here, this could be possibly due to the stagnation of water above the ceiling level on the roof terrace. So it also causes a very bad, gives a very bad aesthetic appearance, and also it is harmful for occupants' health. So it has been also proved that it can cause asthma and all such health diseases. So you guys would have seen such popping and blistering of paints, and then peeling and spelling out from the wall, which is again due to the rising dampness. So when I say rising dampness, what do I mean rising dampness? So if you could see here, so due to the seepage above, so due to the water table especially, where it could be also there are two factors which I have seen as of today. So is that one is the capillary action from the below the ground level. If the water table is too high, rising of the water due to capillary action can cause dampness in the structure. And two would be due to the landscaping water, which can also seep through the permeable membrane of the building, or I could say the bricks, which are, if they are permeable, then definitely it goes into the structure and causes dampness in such a way. So, which would be due to the hydrostatic pressure and etc. I think your geotechnical professor should be able to brief about it more. And if you introduce a DPC here, then what happens is that it stops that rising dampness there itself, and it does not allow to enter into the structure, and it avoids such dampness causes into the interior, or also it could be to the exterior part of the building, which also leads into efflorescence. What do we call? So going back, what do you mean by efflorescence? So it is a crystalline or powdery deposit of salts. What happens when the water rises through capillary action, or also could be if the water which you use for curing, if it has such mineral contents in it, which has soluble salts which remains as deposits on the surface, or it could be on the masonry structure. So there you can feel, if you pinch it between two fingers, you can feel that powdery stuff. There are two things which you can see. It could be also mold, or it could be also efflorescence. How do you identify? Is you, if you just pinch between two fingers, you will see the powdery layer falling down. So that is efflorescence. And how do you get rid of this? Is you can pressurize water onto the wall, or also you can use something like could be a muriatic acid, and then use could be a baking soda or such neutralized compound, so that the brick does not get discolored. So here you can see the landscaping water which is used is getting infiltrated and ingressed into the building structure. It is ultimately causing efflorescence to the exterior part of the building. Then what are the causes of dampness in buildings? Rainwater penetration, as I said, then the level of site, the topography matters, and then the permeability of soil, the soil contents, as I said, the mineral contents in the soil and the water which it has. That matters a lot, which can cause dampness. And then climatic condition due to heavy freeze and thaw cycles, especially in cold countries. They face a lot of freeze and thaw cycles. So then defective orientation of the building, moisture entrapped during the structure, and then defective construction joints, which is something here in locally our regions, we face this kind of dampness more due to the defective construction joints. That's why it is very important to ensure that the DPC or the DPM is put up in the structure during the construction stage itself. So then use of poor quality bricks, poor quality concrete, and then water seepage into the basement retaining walls. So I've explained this. So here you can see, even though the damp-proof course it introduced at the plinth level, this damp DPC at the interior part has failed to withhold the ingressing water, and it has ultimately ingressed and is damaging the interior structure. So how do you get rid of it? There are different types to avoid them and remedy such stuff. So here one such example is that they have done grouting. So I will explain more to you guys what is grouting in next slides. So what are the remedies application of DPC? So this picture I have taken from your IS codes. You can see that in simple way they have explained how much it is important that you have to introduce a DPC within a 150 mm to 200 mm of the plinth level. And then here you have at the floor topping, you have the DPC introduced. Also, more pictures from IS book only. You can see that the damp proof course is introduced. So usually what happens is that they recommend to have the DPC at least at a 135 degree when it is joining between the two joints, so you need to ensure that you have maintained at least 135 degree of slope, and you will have at the gap you will have a filler which can again avoid ingressing water. So these are few examples, and so more clarity how you can let me put it on full screen. Yeah. So I think here you can see in these days, what they usually do is they use this flashing sheets. So here they have used one flashing sheet, which seems to be made of aluminium. So there are different types of flashing sheets which they use. Like there are also sheets which are made of copper and lead coated. Sorry. So this is the sheet which is acting into which is going into the wall, and then this is called counter flashing. And here is the termination strip what they have used, so that even if the water is entering, so here it stops, it does not get into the building. And several such examples here also you can see that they have used filler material and the termination strip and then the counter flashing. So there are several ways. For chimneys here they have used flashing, and again there is one such example. So after the counter flashing, so what happens in roof structures, so they usually have shingles or such complementary materials. So what they ensure that they are overlapping at least to a 200 250 onto the shingles, so that the water does not ingress into the building. So here is one such traditional, in fact, this is a method which is more commonly used. So they use a DPC membrane, which could be a bituminous material or a polyurethane sheet, or in some cases on flat roofs, they also use something called EPDM sheets, which are again high densified ethylene polymer dilene polythene sheets. So there are several materials which offers such a water resistant property. So here you can see at the plinth level at a high rainy areas also they ensure that they use DPCs, and this is another example. You should also see to it that you are not using too much of this membrane. So what happens, especially in timber structures, if you fill in this material a lot and put a lot of sheets everywhere, it becomes too much of airtight to it, and also wood can sweat. So what happens when it starts sweating, within the structure it can create dampness. Even if you have maintained enough dampness coverage due to the external weather, so it can also cause through the structure, it can cause dampness. So you should ensure that you are using best practices. You can refer to EU codes or BS standards or IS standards. There are several codes. So this is one real case scenario which I've just put up to show you guys. As I was just telling you, this is one such ceiling board, the gypsum board, which is the fall ceiling one, which has fallen down due to the dampness, due to the water leakage from the terrace level. So what happens, due to improper sloping which is provided at the terrace level, water gets stagnated and seeps into the building, and it is falling into the ceiling level, so damaging ultimately the interior structures of the building, of the premises. So there are legal consequences there. There are several after effects which we face. And this is one such example. To avoid the dampness, there was already a negative side grouting which was done. So grouting is something, it is a part of integral waterproofing. So what happens is that when I say integral waterproofing, it becomes part of the concrete, it becomes part of the structure. So they have shown you guys something which is used above the concrete level, and something if you want to make it to be a part of the structure itself, you go for integral waterproofing methods. This is one such, and these are more images. So here is another example wherein due to water seepage issues, due to the high water table, we have seen that water seeps into the building, and they have done several times, they have done negative grouting here. There are challenges which we face sometimes in this case in one of project which I'm handling. So what's happening is that the water table is too high, and the topography structure is in such a manner that due to the rock strata, even they were unable to introduce the sheet pilings, or could be any type of piles at some stages. So due to which we have been facing water seepage issues like this. So we need to always put a remedy to it. We need to maintain the structure. We cannot permanently avoid the water seepage. So we create gutters and ensure that through the gutters, water is going into the sump, and then we dewater it. There are several dewatering systems, well pointing systems, which already exist in this particular project actually. So now again, we are doing another remedy to it. Uh, this is another example. So one such example which I have put up here for simple understanding in terms of integral waterproofing, you can see that they do coving in at a certain workmanship level. So they do a V or U-shaped groove, and then they fill in the water stop grouts. And after, so what happens in such grouts is that they become part of the concrete. How the material which they carry, the minerals which such grouts carry, so such materials will form a needle-like crystalline materials, and then they react with the unhydrated concrete and become part of the concrete. Whenever the water, even during the lifespan of the concrete, if it gets in touch with this particular material, it creates more a crystalline form of material, and then clogs all those pores, and it blocks the voids. So this is another one such method which is in practice in market. So how do we identify dampness without damaging the structure, without touching the structure? You have one such good method, which is a non-destructive method, which is IR, infrared thermographic method. So here you can see that the infrared reveals that window leaks. So whichever has bright, which is it is at high temperature or a room temperature, so which you can see in a dark color. So they are having, actually they are exposed to a dampness issue. So you will have to uh, apply the DPC core there, or also there are surface finishes which they use. So you can use any of such methods. Even the IRT methods are used for identifying blockages in pipes, etc. So that's it. Thank you. Any questions you can ask me? So anything out of this PPT which you want to discuss, I'm okay to answer that also.
Students, if you have any doubts or any clarification or any queries, please discuss with Sachin.
Even in terms of your higher studies or whatever it interests you guys, and you are not clear about it, you can ask me.
If you have any doubts with respect to higher studies and how you can build your resumes, okay, you can interact, students. Openly, you can interact. And
Yeah,
with respect to placement, also you can interact,
definitely.
because he is the first placement officer in civil engineering department. Okay, so that way you can interact, and he published some of the papers. You can interact in that manner.
Did I go too fast? Varsha, was that grasp it? Like, were you able to grasp it?
Yeah, it was not fast. No, it was not
That's
fast.
great. So I will wait for another 2 minutes. If you have any questions, you guys can ask me.
Sachin, can you explain any one or two case studies? Means in a critical review, critical case study.
In terms of
What you
dampness,
faced, what you faced in a difficult manner
in terms of dampness,
with respect to dampness and field visit.
so what happens is that sometimes even highly experienced project or property managers might get you, even the vendors who are available in market, they give you quotes. So one such example in one of the in the PPT itself, in one of the project, so they gave a budget of around 5-6 lakhs, and it sounds too good, like 5-6 lakhs. If the water seepage issue can get resolved, it's amazing for us. So I was wondering, is it like really true? So due to COVID situation, I was at home. So in fact, when I personally decided that I need to visit. I didn't feel like, no, it cannot be done within this budget. So when I went and saw there, it was like humongous, too much of what a seepage issue was there on both the basement levels. So sometimes, even though we are not experienced, but with a theoretical knowledge, definitely you can guide them. And if they are very much confident on you, they will believe in you and your technical reasoning. That is more important for them. So I made them to change the whole scope of works. So we first thing what we need to do as an asset manager is that we need to define the scope of works properly and need to ensure that you are assessing the problem in a right way. If your assessment is wrong, your solution is definitely not going to work. So that's something which I have seen. So ultimately, yeah, I had to just disregard the quotes which I had received at 5 to 10 lakhs. So that there was huge difference in quote once we defined the scope of works, more than like it overshooted the budget which was given by them previously by almost 30 lakhs more. So that's one thing which I could tell you guys.
Sachin, can you share some of the words with respect to placement path, especially this time, means this COVID time, how they can prepare for a placement and how they can prepare for higher studies and how they can build their resumes.
Yeah, definitely, sir. So one thing I could tell you guys is that don't just stick on to what you are learning there within your curriculum. That is something to build, definitely build your basic knowledge, and it is very much required. So all this, what I explained to you guys, I was able to, in fact, when I was saying that I redefined the whole scope of works for a particular project, so that I was able to do it just because I had a basic fundamentals correct. If you have your basic fundamentals correct and then you feel confident, just step out of the curriculum and start doing something which you really like. If you feel you like design part of it more, then explore by yourself. Start learning Revit software. You have LinkedIn learning, and then you have several softwares. Even on YouTube you can learn. uh, you have ample opportunity that you need to use it. That's it. So if you develop such skills, and if you have those even online certifications, so that will give more confidence to your interviewers, and then definitely they will choose that particular person who excels or knows at least what is ongoing in the market. So that's something what I could tell. It's not that, so it's like due to COVID situation, yeah, definitely many companies are facing financial stress, but definitely there is a requirement. There will be projects which will be coming up. What we are planning is that we are restructuring the whole buildings, what we had planned for before. So we do not build it in a traditional method now. We also need someone who knows the modern technology and whose fundamentals are right. As I said, you need to make your basic fundamentals correct so that you will learn it here. Ensure that you are learning something beyond the curriculum and which is in market practice. If you want to know more, you can ask me questions. I think interaction is something which is very important. Any questions? Don't hesitate, even if
Sir,
it's a very
can you ask
basic
some,
question.
any questions? Varsha, Deepti, or any students?
Sir, about internships, sir.
You can ask, Pa. You can ask.
Uh, how to carry internships?
Okay, I think Adi Keshwa is speaking, right?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Adi Keshwa. So,
Hi, sir.
internships, how to get internships? Definitely, there has been a decline in projects and the project schedules, and they are running at very low pace. So at these times, why don't you try and pitch in for design companies and just see that you are learning more of design aspects if that interests you. Even if you uh, are like not interested, you can definitely learn so that it uh, it will improve your knowledge and it will improve the capacity of your maybe the hiring possibilities. What interests you, Adikeshwa? I think you are in third sem, right?
Yes, sir.
What interests you more? What
Sir,
is it which you have liked it a lot? Which subject rather?
I'm interested in structure, sir. More.
Okay, so try for consultancies. If you can go there, and even if you go and sit with them, tell them that I will just sit and see what do you do. So that's gonna expose you more to what you can like learn.
Okay, sir.
If you feel that you're not getting internships, you can definitely call me. I will try if I could. I know it's very difficult in this scenario. I will definitely try.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Anything else? So one thing I will tell you guys, don't uh, depend on any institute. It could be the top one institute, it could be the lowest institute that they will get you placed. Make your hiring possibilities more by yourself. Opportunities will come into you. That is true. That is something which I have seen. It's even I there were companies who rejected me. There were companies. So at the initial stages when campus placement started for at my master's, so many companies, in fact, more than 3, 4 companies rejected me. Uh, few said no, we our requirements are different, and few were like, you have a very good research mind. Why don't you try there? So they had their own reasoning, but what happened is that at the end I started getting offers. So I ended up with 4 offers in hand, and then even after I joined this company, the one who rejected called me back and said, can you join us? So this is something they will analyze you. They will, once they get to know about somebody in the market, about through someone in the market about you. So how this happens is that with the contacts you build, that is more important. Network is something which is very important. I think network marketing is another topic which is going around the market. where many startups are coming up due to the huge change in the supply chain in country. So anything else which you guys doubt about, or any clarity you need, you can ask me.
Generally, we know that after BE, it is like either MTech or like if people wish to go to abroad and all, it will be MS. But I didn't know that we can even choose for MBA. Like when I saw yours, I was shocked. I didn't know that. How is it all about? Like after BE, what are all the options we'll have?
So there are many candidates who feel that they do not want to enter into field jobs and they don't want to do side job. So then the next path which people recommend them is design field. So it's not just design field you can go for. There is something called construction project management, and people need you in administration. So in fact, due to this MBA which I have got from RICS, I'm hired by embassy. Main reason is one of this, and in fact, I'm the youngest employee in embassy corporate. So you can gauge the value which you will get in the sector because you have the business administration skills along with the technical skills. So you will have a lot of value within the sector. So that's what I can say. And about curriculum, if you ask in RICS, it's very well curated. It's too good. You will have a lot of burden, and during the first and second sem you will feel this is too much, and you will also feel, even I had felt sometimes, that this is something beyond what I had learned in 4 years of engineering. I'm putting so much of effort within just 1 or 2 semesters itself. It's going to be entirely different because it's a syllabus curated by London board of RICS, and then they don't spoon feed you how you get fitted in here in graduate colleges. No, not at all. They do not worry about you. They will teach what they have to. They show you the real case scenarios. And in fact, when I joined in my batch, there were 400 candidates. So the graduated people were only 250. I think you can imagine uh, it's a difficult thing, but I don't say it's not possible. It is easy. You can deal with it. It's just that you need to have a constant mind and concentration.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Anything
And
else?
Sachin, can you give few words about how to prepare for higher studies?
Okay, sir. So,
In what way? Because these students are belongs to third semester. In
hmm,
what way they can prepare it like that path?
yes, sir. So as I said, first and foremost important thing is understand the fundamentals properly, then start going through these some of the books which gives you the MCQs, and then the also it gives a detailed explanation about what is it and how the solution is arrived at. So first thing is that you need to keep on learning, and also ensure that you are having enough recreation so that your mind is grasping stuff what you are studying. It's not that you always study 24 hours. You are just studying. You want to get a high score in care or so. So it all depends on how you are like giving uh, like what is your routine, in fact. So in terms of MS, IELTS and TOEFL is something which you will have to write, and you need to ensure that you are English language is too good, and also it's not just that it's because you do not know the words, and which in GRE and all. So there are such words which they ask you to learn. So it all depends on how do you use them, and if you even use a simple language, it's actually enough. It's not compulsory that you need to know words from the whole glossary. It's not really required. So there are universities that offer CPM courses like Purdue University. I think we have one alumni from BMSIT only who has joined Purdue, if I'm not wrong. So it's not difficult. You guys have to just ensure that you are giving enough time to both study and play. Both are important. Any questions? If you ask me in particular, then I can answer
Students,
you.
please interact with Sachin if you have any doubts, anything if you want to ask.
Sir,
Yes,
so
yes, yes.
how to prepare for gate exam, sir? Like what we have to concentrate more?
Again, it's all about what I have learned is just if you know the basic fundamentals properly, if you have learned in terms of structures, if you see, we had Arvind Basham sir who used to teach us the fundamentals so good. Like he used to say us that you do not remember formulas. You are not learning formulas. You are learning the fundamentals of it. If you get that correct, then automatically you can put your formulas. It's not that there is one formula for something to arrive at, a solution to be arrived at. You can also use your formulas. If you have got the fundamentals correct, you will definitely get a perfect solution. There are different methods for any question to solve it. So that's something which is very important. And there are several books which offer you several such questions. You can refer to those books, understand.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, can you tell about the your initial days, like um, not exact. Okay. I just want
In
to know about
BMSI,
conference papers. Like, how did you manage? Like, manage in the sense, like initially we will not be knowing what it contains, how to start with, where to start with, and then when
true,
it comes to us, like when it comes to our an individual, like we should also do, like, we should also publish some papers and all. So
definitely.
how is it exactly? How are your
So
initial? How did you try to understand? And finally,
yeah,
how did you manage your paper and all? Just tell about it.
okay. So first thing what you need to do is that you need to start interacting with one of your professors. They are all very good professors. Let me tell you, I have been like I used to interact with them. Even today, I interact with them personally. Even they are the amount of knowledge they have. You need to going to them, and you need to go to them, and then you need to start taking their time from them. So once you start doing it, they will, if they feel that you can definitely do something, they will join you. They will curate the paper along with you. They will tell you how it needs to be done. So, in fact, first thing is this: get a proper guidance. Second thing is that you choose your own topic. If you feel that you need to like deal with something design field, then yeah, go for it. Start finding some papers on online. Like Google offers everything on your table. Just Google some topic, you will get research papers. Start going through it. Don't go too much in depth. It's not really required that you need to read line by line of a paper. Even if you read the abstract of it and then just go through the methodology and then the conclusion of it, you will see a future study which will be there in the conclusion part. So in every paper they offer you what is the future scope of the study. So go for that future scope of that particular study which interests you, and then start googling it. You might not find many papers because it's a future scope of study. You need to start grasping stuff and then go for site visits if something that can make you understand more. So start noting down point wise, and then you can just put your own paper out. It's not very difficult.
That was very nice. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for sure.
So, what will be the expectations, sir, from the hirers?
What are the expectations from the hirers? First thing, attitude. What attitude do you carry in front of them? And then second thing is your body language, most important. In real estate and construction industry, you need to have the right attitude, and you need to have the right body language. Communication skills is something which you can definitely develop later on. It is not so important than how it is required by IT sectors. You can definitely develop along with your journey. So this is first and foremost. And second thing is, as I said, you need to also think out of box and then start generating your own research thesis from right now. If you can put out something there, it's not something like you have to publish a paper. Just for that sake you need to develop a thesis. Even for your own understanding you can do it, and then ultimately will definitely turn into a research paper for you. So there are professors for you there who can help you to deal with such stuff. So what we see is that a candidate knows what's ongoing in the market. So that's something which you need to ensure at least some of it you have. Something like in terms of concrete technology, precast concretes, and then there are what do you call those different types of concrete mixed designs like SCC, PCC. So several such stuff. How do you use? Where do you use? In what conditions do you use them? So that's more than enough. If so, that's what is being used on site. So if you know about it, even a theoretical knowledge is more than enough. So things will change. Even I see that every hirer gauges you basis your experience. If you have a better theoretical knowledge and seen it on site, even if you have not done the work, if you in your internship, if you get that experience, that will definitely excel you very well. That's more than enough.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, how important is CGPA in, during placements? If yes, if it is very important, what's the optimum CGPA?
Okay, CGPA. Uh, that's something I'll tell you. CGPA, yeah, definitely institutes gauge you by CGPA. So I wouldn't say that they do not gauge you by CGPA. I would not. But first thing, what I would tell you is that if you know the technicalities of what you're talking about, then definitely CGPA comes next. First comes is what is your knowledge about anything what you're doing. If you know it well, Then comes your CGPA. So a minimum of 6 CGPA, if you maintain beyond above what is required in part to pass, I think that should be enough. If I come as a hirer, so that's what I look at. I don't know about other interviewers.
Thank you, sir.
But this do not stop you to concentrate on your studies. You need to ensure that you score well, because this changing market uh, is going to, yes, definitely will change. And then yeah, hirers who were looking for hiring 5 candidates now will look for hiring 2 candidates. That's the market scenario now.
Sir, how actually placements go on, sir?
Sorry, how the placement process works.
Yeah, sir.
I'm not sure how it is working now, but when I was there, what we used to do is that we they conduct aptitude, that technical skills over and above the aptitude marks. So if somebody has scored more than 16, like even 17 technical exam or whatever the technical test you get there, and then the aptitude you have scored 30, 40 also, it's okay. It was okay for me. So I used to put them at the top of the list, because especially like diploma candidates and all, they might not have a very good aptitude, but they have very good technical skills. That's where I used to see it that way. So, and then once the test is done, then basis your scores, they start putting out to the company. So I used to call, like, at that particular time I used to call like even directors of a company, like and then CEOs. So I used to just give a random call and tell them that we have very good candidates, and we have very good candidates who knows who has high level technical knowledge. Though they are freshers, they will be of very good use for you. So that's how I used to interact with those industry people. So ultimately something happened, so people got placed to some extent. Yeah, I think it was close to 90% was a placement what we achieved. I'm not sure. I think Vinod sir can tell.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Uh, any queries, students? Any queries? Okay, Sachin. It's been a nice presentation. Thank you for our invitation, and you shared some of
Thank,
the valuable things. Okay. Thank you, Sachin. Thank
thank you,
you.
sir.
Students, any queries? Okay, I think no queries. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you, students. And I will share the link.
Thank you.
Okay, link in your official WhatsApp group. Okay, please fill the details. Okay.
Thank you, Sachin sir. It was
Thank you.
really a